What's up, guys? It's me, Devin here. I'm here with another video, and we're not actually going to be playing Fortnite today. We're going to react to something, and, well, I think I want to listen or watch scary animations. So, we're going to do that. I'm pretty sure, well, not everyone, but some people heard of, what's his name again? Oh yeah, llama arts. Hold on. Call the police. Yeah, I don't know why you opened that.
That night. At 12:05 a.m. I woke up to a big bang next to me. I turned around to see the same guy passed out on the floor with a knife in. How did he find me? I quickly ran out of the room and locked.
You literally almost made me break my space bar. What an idiot. Why would you say that? Like, you said the chances of he coming here is pretty slim. Still lock the door. What?
No.
That's how
16, yeah.
I know your age.
16. At this point, I thought he was on drugs or something. I said, I'm sorry, but you don't look 16 at all.
Yup.
He just stared at me, not saying a word, with his eyes wide, staring right at me. He then leaned over to me and said, I'll make you a deal.
No,
I have
just
a big
get
blade
out.
in my pocket. If I'm not 16, you can cut my finger off.
How about cut your neck
If I am
off?
16, I can cut your finger off.
No,
I didn't
that's
get the
not
chance to say anything because he walked out right after he said that. I told my boss about what happened. He said to let him know if he comes back and he'll deal with it. I finished my shift around 12 and then went to get in my car. There was an envelope under my windshield wiper. Written on it was, "A deal is a deal." I opened the envelope to see a human finger.
Wait, is that your boss?
And I had a feeling that I opened the envelope to see
That's your
under my
boss's
windshield
finger.
wiper. Finished my shift around.
Isn't that
he comes
your
back
boss?
and he'll deal with
Look,
it.
he has the
I finished
gem,
my shift around
unless
12
that one is red.
and then went to get in my car.
But that
There was
guy-
an envelope
the
under my
guy
windshield
doesn't have a
wiper.
ring, so
Written on it was, "A deal is a deal." I opened the envelope to see a human finger.
That's your boss.
And I had a feeling that this
His
wasn't his
finger.
own finger due to it being another color. I never saw that man again. And I always wondered why he was trying to get into that prom.
Two things in one are just plain better. Like the two juicy flavors in every Starburst Duos.
Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary? There's no place like home, especially if it's haunted. Too many residents. These stories are all about old houses with sinister histories and spirits that just aren't ready to move out yet. For the first chapter,
There used to be a pond about half a mile away from my old house that I would commonly go fishing in. It was nicknamed Daryl's Pond. I still have no idea who Daryl was or why it was called that, but nobody owned it, so people would once in a blue moon go fishing there as well. It was usually me by myself though. I had dug a pole into the ground where I would tie a noose to and from my small kayak spot for getting a decent catch. There was another person coming out from the trees.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Darius here.
I waved at him and gave him a smile.
No, why?
He hopped into a small boat floating by the edge of the pond. Fish. I was horrified when I saw he was following me.
Yeah.
What a great day, huh? I felt a shake in my voice. I got close enough to the edge of the pond where I finally told the man, "I think I'm gonna call it a day." I turned to see his reaction. He was still staring at me, but his smile was gone now. "I can't let you leave," he said.
What?
He lifted his flannel to expose a handgun sticking out of his jeans pocket. As soon as I could process what I was looking at, I dove out of the boat for land, ran the whole half-mile uphill through the woods back to my house, and locked every door and window as soon as I made it home.
Now he knows where
I
you
pulled down
live.
the blinds to the dining room window, leaving it open just a crack for peeking outside undetected. It started to get dark out, and I left every light in the house off, still peeking out to the front yard, making sure I wasn't followed. The time came when I finally decided I wasn't followed. I realize now, like you, that not calling the police immediately was a huge mistake.
Yeah, that was the dumbest mistake you ever
I kept my bedroom windows open to let the room air out.
No.
My bedroom was on the second floor, so I wasn't worried about being watched through the window. About half an hour after shutting the light and falling under the covers, I heard the sound of leaves crunching from outside.
Exactly why you should lock your window.
I sat up to hear it more clearly. It was definitely something walking around out there. Normally I would assume it was a deer or a bear, but after what just happened, I was still in paranoia mode. I sat up as still as a statue, except for my shaking out of fear, waiting as the sounds of the steps stopped. "Hey buddy, you up there?
No.
Are you trying to sleep?"
I told you.
"Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you." I felt like 100 pounds just fell directly onto my chest. It was the same voice. I knew it right away. I didn't make a sound. I crept out of the room quietly downstairs to the kitchen and grabbed the phone, practically crawling on my way out to avoid being seen through the open blinds. I called 911 like I should have earlier in the temporary safety of my bedroom. I made sure to whisper into the phone, as I was still hoping that he hadn't yet heard or spotted me. 20 minutes felt like an hour as I sat behind my bed, waiting for the police to arrive in constant fear that I would hear glass breaking from downstairs, or a thud on the back door, or even just a voice again from down below my window outside. The police did a thorough investigation of the property in nearby woods, turning up nothing. They suggested I stay with a friend or a family member for a few days, and so I did. I never heard from or saw the man again, but I still moved a month later. I couldn't deal with the constant fear and paranoia of being watched through my windows. I feel much more comfortable fishing out by the bay now.
That's the end of Friday the 13th.
More power to you. The new Power Breakfast Sandwich and Egg White Bowl from Dunkin'. They're a deliciously easy way to add a boost of protein to your day. Power.
So me and a couple of my buddies went camping last summer alongside the Willamette River. We actually had a decent hike into the deep end of woods. We did some night fishing, listening to music, and basically drank to the point where everything was funny later in the night. I would guess we finally called it a night somewhere past 2 a.m. I shared a tent with one of my buds while the other two shared another tent. We heard them laughing about something. At first we laughed at the sound of their laughing, but it soon got annoying and we yelled for them to shut up. One of them responded, "It isn't us." I sat up, startled at the response. I came to realize that it was the sound of only one person laughing, and it didn't sound like either one of my friends. Even in my drunk state, I realized how odd it was for somebody to be out this far in the woods so late at night. The laughing gradually got closer and louder to our campout. My friend shot up and looked at me with a worried look on his face. I heard my other friends scream over to us that they were getting freaked out. As the laughing got even closer, I could make it out very clearly to be the laugh of a male, probably in his 30s or 40s. He sounded like he was as drunk as us, messing around with friends, but we only heard his laugh, nobody else. There was something indescribably creepy about his laugh too, as if it was missing something to it. You had to be there to understand what I mean. The laughing was now just at the edge of our campsite, but we couldn't hear any footsteps at all. Now that may not seem like a big deal. It was impossible to move through that without making noise. And finally, all of a sudden, the laughing stopped completely. We had no idea where whoever that was standing, as he hadn't made a single stepping sound. We sat there in silence looking at each other.
I would leave if I were you, or just call the police and leave.
My friend was clearly freaking out, but he was keeping it together the best he could. Finally, something broke the silence. The sound of something rubbing against the cottony fabric of the tent. We saw the outline of a hand through the moonlight, pressing on the tent. We both screamed at the top of our lungs before getting out of the tent. We ran as fast as we could through the woods, our other friends following us. After about 5 minutes of running, we somehow found our car. I actually puked from running so much before taking the wheel. I don't condone drinking and driving, but I still believe we were just in this situation. By far the most horrific experience of my life. No idea who or what the hell that was, or what they wanted.
Prodigy has completely changed how
That's a
my
math
son
game,
views math.
Playing Prodigy has helped my math so much that I can do all multiplication and division problems easily. What is 9 times 9?
81.
81. Easy.
You like your Prodigy membership?
Yes. I also love being a member. You could get these new hairstyles, new clothes, those hats, those shoes.
Yeah, membership.
My daughter actually got herself
Got
her
the new June one. 7-Eleven.
It was 2 years ago. I was called in to do the night shift, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. at 7-Eleven, since somebody called out. The store was located on a busy road in a rather quiet and rural area. During the night shift, you could expect anywhere from 10 to 20 people come in to buy a beer or something else. This one particular night, there was this one guy, mid-20s, that came in. He started making weird noises, like loud yelling noises.
What?
I assumed he had some kind of mental disability. In fact, my brother has a mental disability, so I immediately felt sympathy for the guy. He walked up to the counter without any items.
Watching scary stories. Bacon. I knew it.
basement closet, I found writing on the walls. 7-Eleven had been written in Sharpie on the wall, along with the address to the 7-Eleven I worked at and my house address. The most disturbing part, I also found various kitchen knives along with a large pocket knife sitting in the closet. What started out as seemingly just an innocent person turning into something of a prank ultimately turned into something much more horrifying. He had been living down there for God knows how long, and I'm just grateful that, for whatever reason, he changed his mind and left, because I haven't seen or heard from him since. All I can say is that man is dangerously ill.
Alright. Done with the spooky, scary stories. Now, I'm gonna play Prodigy. I'll be back. Oh my god. Let's go! Here we go, baby. Alright, cool. Falling stars finish. Yeah, I wanted to switch hands. I want to join, please. Please let me join, please. I'm probably not gonna join, please. I'm playing a math game, dude. Alright, by the way, please. This is my close this. Alright, guys. See you in the next video. Bye. And if I join, please.